Greetings. I am GM of the Bolshevik Militant Tendency of Argentina, a member of the LCFI. We consider that in order to understand the war and the conflict between imperialism on one side and that of China and Russia on the other side, it is necessary to use Trotsky's method in the thesis of permanent revolution. In that sense, let us consider that it is necessary to use the method of permanent revolution to understand the current situation. What we consider central to the permanent revolution to understand today's dynamic is the conception that the pending bourgeois tasks can only be carried out with the methods of proletarian dictatorship. The bureaucratized proletarian dictatorship of the USSR overcame the pending tasks of backward Russia. I want to emphasize that for us from the LCFI, the cases of Russia and China for having been workers' states advanced in the pending bourgeois tasks. That is why when they returned to capitalism, they did not return to the previous stage from 1917 or 1949. Rather, they returned with industrial development, energy sovereignty, nuclear independence, etc. That makes them something qualitatively different from the set of semi-colonies on the planet, nor are they imperialist countries. Therefore, the cases in which we are dealing with Russia and China have to be understood according to the interpretation of the permanent revolution of the 21st century. That is, as a byproduct of the cycle of proletarian revolutions of the 20th century that gave rise to the mega worker states of the Soviet Union and People's China. It should be clarified that this is more evident in the case of China. In Russia with capitalist restoration, there was a strong setback in the 90s with Yeltsin and under the shock doctrine similar to the one that was opposed in Chile under the Pinochet dictatorship and neoliberalism was founded. They dragged the USSR to a semi-colonial condition or colonial for a decade. State planning had been abandoned and leading to the economic collapse of the country. But the setback was as brutal as the dialectical reaction of the Russian economy to defend itself from the deep robbery. And the former bureaucrats now turned into new bourgeois, aware of the Russian wealth and that a little nationalization would allow them the logic of the capital accumulation at a higher level than Yeltsin's neoliberal neocolonialization propelled the Putin era. In a later period, the lived experience of the Soviet Union of having completed the pending bourgeois tasks led to the remnants of the workers' state, especially at the arms level, which allowed the Russian Federation to consolidate itself as a dependent country after 2000. In other words, qualitatively different from a semi-colony taking advantage of the advances of its heritage as a workers' state at the nuclear, spatial, etc. level. For this reason, to defend itself from the robbery and the siege of Russia, the Russian capitalist economy defended itself by returning to certain elements of sovereignty conquered by the USSR, renationalizing the military, industrial, and energy complex, about a third of the economy, to keep a greater part of the Russian wealth and military power, which imperialism does not admit, and that is why it advances in the offensive and in the NATO encirclement of Russia.